Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. So this is my next update on the Veritech VF-1J fighter. And so this one's more about a couple of gotchas. I am currently at step 15. I've finished up to step 15, about to start step 16. However, I got to doing these two pieces and sort of looking around, and you know, though, where it's always said that you should read the instructions and go through what you're going to be doing ahead of time to make sure that you're doing things right and so forth. And I do that, and I found that well, there's a lot going on, and I missed some things. I missed a couple of things that I didn't realize. And it is wholly the fact, well, I will blame part of it on the fact that I can't read Japanese. So I would like to say that if I could actually read the thing, it might actually have warned me. But there's a lot going on in these instructions. There's a lot of parts and pieces going here and there, and a lot of options to take. And that's where I sort of ran into a little bit of a getcha. So we're going to start with this, and it has to do with this guy. So this is your gun pod, which in Batroid mode it's the gun, right? The gun pod, and I mentioned this before, had this piece that would go here on the bottom, or go into not on the bottom, but on the pod. And that's this. You had the option to do this or the handle. And I thought, well, see, it says option. You could use either one of those. And I learned later on, I'm thinking, well, I know that goes up in between, so I think I can't use this, so I can use this. So that's what I chose to put on. Well, then we move ahead to these. So this is putting together the what would be the Batroid arms. So let me pull these guys out. Okay. So we move ahead to these pieces here where we're putting the Batroid arms together. And one of the steps is these, K20 and K19. Now they are sighted, so if you look at the piece here, they look a lot alike, but each one has a little steppy thing. And that little steppy thing would go into the appropriate one of those. So obviously that one would not fit this one. It would goes into here, where that one is. So I'll get there in a moment. So I put those on. And then I happened to glance ahead, because I'm starting to think about painting and how I want to paint this thing. And I glance ahead to this, where this goes into here. And right here, that's what I missed in all of the things that are happening, and all of the details, and all of the busy of the instruction sheet. I missed this. So I saw that they go together, but I missed that that's relevant. Okay, so essentially when you put these two things together, you need this to connect them. That's supposed to happen. So how in the world this is an option, I don't get. I don't understand this. I'm sure in the squiggles here it tells you, but I can't read that, and I can't tell why, but you can't. Now the other thing I'll point out is, again, this is got that same little notch in it that those other pieces do. So it's relevant how these go in. So I've now put that together. I can then take this piece and put it in here. And so that's the expectation. I'm going to put this together, and that one piece there is going to align all this, and you can see that you got to kind of fiddle with it to get it aligned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it would be more of a challenge to do all that alignment with this thing still sticking on it. So I took that off to put this together, to leave that there to do this. So I am changing that step. So step 8 put this stuff together, save that for later. Save that for step something teen. Save that for step 20. Okay? So that was one little gotcha that I ran into. I got the landing bay doors put on here, and I went ahead and did that. I'm still not going to put in the landing gear for this. So when I paint it up, I'll deal with that. So the next gotcha I ran into. These pieces here are those. Now, those are going to end up here, essentially behind that. So, yeah, the painting of that, not really all that necessary. I did it. I was going to go in and weather and clean that up a bit, but you know, once I put that piece on and I have that piece there, I think it's going to be hard to see, especially with the jet exhaust going here. So I'll give it a cursory piece, or a cursory paint, and do that. And I noticed all this as I started to get into looking at how to paint all this stuff. I think what I'm going to end up doing is attaching these, leaving, or not attaching these, but attaching these together with the exhaust, and then attaching these together, and then geez, you can't even see what I'm doing. So put these things together, which are the intakes, which will go under here, like so, with the thrusters, right? They're going to go like that, and then these pieces go in the middle here. I will probably detail paint these, then put those on and mask the details. I think that's what I'm going to do. At least that's what I have in mind at the moment. I'm going to wait and see how the rest of this stuff goes together. So there was another getcha. Let me see if I can recall where this was. Oh, yeah, these. So, putting these guys together. I don't have light coming right here down there. So down that guy there, right? You can sort of see there. See if I can get this to, let me try and bring light in from this side. Yeah, there we go. So you can see those details. I painted those in gunmetal. Probably didn't need to. I'm going to actually paint the rest of this in gunmetal now that I can see how that is. And then I'll figure out how to mask it. So, but the point being, you can see here, you can see that gap. I did have these clamped. I will go back and I will reclamp these and reglue that again, but these came out. This fits very well. This just needs a little bit of sanding, although most of this part isn't even going to be seen, so I probably won't. But these need to be clamped up, and these are bent. So these are warped, and I did see that. Both of these are warped. I don't think the kit is that old, so it shouldn't necessarily be a piece of it. That's the worst piece I've seen in this whole kit, which isn't bad. Now, to get you though with this, right? These are sided, so you know, just do it in order, you're fine. It's 22, and they have a half D, or so they have a straight line and a straight line on the inside of. Let's see, if you look at this, you see how that has a straight line here, and this is a curve. This curve is mirrored here, so this has a piece that slides into the hole made by those two coming together, so it won't be wrong. Just pay attention, and it is relevant that this wants to go in here first before you put these together, because this will fit. This is a lip here. So these go in first. These go into either side of this. Then you put the two of them together. But the catch is, the thing that's a bit of a catch is these pieces. So D8 and D9, they are relevant. Now on the underside of this, and of course I don't have one out to show, and I didn't take a picture, but on the underside of here, there's a little ridge, a gap, and then a little tab. And it looks like it's one of those fitting slots. There's a hole right if you look at, and this actually points to it here, and you can kind of barely see it. That what this line right here is pointing to is that little notch, and or that little tab, and there's a little notch in this piece. Now to get there, because this fits in only in the right spot, otherwise the little piece here, really the geometry of that is very, very well done. It doesn't fit anywhere else. So you kind of have to slide this in at an angle, line up where that notch is going to be, and then smush it down, and you'll hear it click in. That took me a bit to figure that out. It works, it works well. And once I had that in, then I just clamped this up, and I had this glued at one point, put that in, then I re-glued it and clamped it. So I'm going to have to go back and do that on both of these pieces. Now these pieces will go into the engine. So these, like, see where these are going to come together. These pieces slide into here, and you can see that you slide those in. My initial look here is that I'm going to build these together, and then see how this all slots in together. I think these actually have to go in at the same time these are being put together, which is something I didn't want to do, but but pay attention. So it looks, see how these are. These are showing a gap, and again, in the movie, the thing would rotate and open up or close for thrust, and that's so forth. I'm not sure how the engineering of this works to do that, but those are the gotchas. Those are the little things that were, they have you doing the one thing way at the beginning, and then later in the instructions you realize, oh hey, wait a minute, like this here. They're clear if you're very patient as you work your way through, but what they don't have, and those are the little gotchas I found so far, are if you don't look ahead and don't see that like that, and you did put the wrong piece on there, you'd be stuck. If you had put those together according to the other instructions, I mean, the instructions should never have you putting both sides on. So this right here, and it is entirely possible that that is exactly what that says. I don't know, but those shouldn't even be in the picture. They shouldn't be in the picture at all, unless this means put those on if you don't want the gun pod on. That's the only thing I can think that means. Unfortunately, I still see zero of use for this. I see nothing there. This is not a transformable kit. So anyway, I've rambled a little bit. I did want to just point those out. Again, I don't have complaints. This is not a complaint. This is not me, being whiny so much as I want to point out the way this is engineered and the way this all goes together, that those are gotcha points. Those are things that are going to cause a challenge if you don't look ahead and don't see it. This is the head I'll go with. So that is as far as I've done. The wings here. The wings, these joints are a little sticky. They're a little challenging for the engineering, which is actually not bad. It's fine that does that. I did go in with the Vallejo putty. I mean, you can see it was very easy for that to do. I can't remember if I did those wings on the camera or not, so I'm going to do it again here. This is what I was talking about. Those are a little bit stiff. If you jiggle, then they work. This is going to be a display model, not a toy, so I'm not going to be swinging the wings a lot, but I like to have them be functional so that I can choose to display it the way I want. Anyway, that's what I have so far on this kit. It's, again, a great kit. I'm very, 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 I have great positive feeling about it. I'm enjoying the build, but I did want to call out just those little gotchas on this one. But overall, I have no concerns yet with what we're looking at and what this kit is giving me. The engineering, it goes together well. The pieces are very true. Tolerances are tight, and that's a good thing. So I hope this is helpful if you're working on this kit at all and you enjoy where this is going. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.